old show. This is the big O show. This is the big O show. This is the big O show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX, $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra, $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Miami Dolphins fans, time to rock out with another Dolphins pregame show. Big O and the boys are ready to give you the latest information, injury news, gambling insight as we get ready for kickoff. The pregame show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Toyota of Hollywood, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Here's your host, the Big O, Orlando Alzugari.
All righty. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hope you all are well. Hope your stomachs are full. Mine is. That's for sure. I had this was the earliest Thanksgiving dinner I have ever had. Okay. So it's like record. Really, seriously. I've never eaten this early. Normally, I would eat around this time to maybe another hour from now. Maybe pushing to 8 o'clock sometimes. Seriously, we always eat after 6 for sure. We never eat at 4:30, bro. I've never had my Thanksgiving meal at 4:30. But hey, you know what? We'll take it. It was good. It was delicioso. Oh, I love the turkey. I love the turkey. I'm not one of those guys that like, oh, yeah, turkey just once a year and all that. No, I can have turkey often, actually. So I look forward to it. Plus, the old lady makes some beans. Woo, doggy. Her black beans are delicious, bro. Delicious. So I got me some boniato, a little arroz. I did a couple of servings because when you fast, like I do a lot, this is like the one big meal I'm going to have today. That's it. And I'll eat something during the Dolphins game. I'll pick on something, and then that's it. I'm done for the day. So that's all I will have. So it'll be a small window where I've eaten a couple of times, and that's about it. They actually made a little apple pie for me, and that's probably what I'm going to have. I'm going to have a little apple pie. during the game while I'm watching the Dolphins. Hopefully, I'm not throwing up on my food at the end of the Dolphins game. Hopefully, they can pull out a victory. You know, it would be really nice. And as I spoke about earlier this week, because the media likes to do this shit. And yes, I'm part of the media, but I don't go with the whole thing that I need clicks and views and live on it and all that kind of stuff. And that's not my style. No narratives are going to be killed tonight. None whatsoever. You need to win lots of these games before you kill the narratives. You need to be able to win big games a whole bunch of times before you kill the narrative. You need to win in the cold several times before you kill a narrative. You know what I'm saying? So there's no narratives being killed tonight. The only thing you got to do tonight is win a big game, something you never do as a Dolphins franchise. The Dolphins franchise for the last 35 years doesn't accomplish jack shit. Nothing. Okay? We celebrate stupid things here nowadays. We celebrate the Miami Miracle. We celebrate, somebody avoiding 0-16 to go 1-15 because a receiver got away and, whatever. These are the stupid things that we celebrate nowadays. And we only celebrate individual accomplishments. It's Ricky Williams tearing up. It's Tyreek Hill. It's Tua in an MVP race. It's whatever it is that we've had. Lamar Smith with the 200-yard game, whatever. We do not actually have anything of substance that's gone on for 35 years. Real substance. It's been a long time. So you're not going to dig yourself out of that hole by just winning tonight. But you got to start somewhere. And this is the night. You've made it matter, right? You won the 3 games against the shitty teams. You have set yourself up against a team that's better than you, and they're at home. Now you've got to beat a team that's better than you in their backyard, in weather that doesn't ever go with you, in a big moment that doesn't go with you whatsoever. So let's go. That's what this is. This is the only way you kill the narratives is if you start to erase them. And tonight is at least the start of it, because you could win tonight and then lose the next 2 weeks and it won't matter what you did tonight. You understand? And when you're a really good team, you consistently win. And you consistently win in big moments and in big games and on the road. You don't win them all, but you win more than you lose. That's how you beat narratives. Not winning every once in a while, that every once in a while you win a big game. Every once in a while, every 20 years, you'll win a game in the cold. That doesn't kill any narratives. Narratives are, okay, it doesn't matter who the Dolphins are. If they play in the heat or they play in the cold, they're going to be tough and they can beat you. That's when you've crossed that narrative. We never talked about the cold weather back when I was a kid. That wasn't a thought. It became a thought once we became a finesse team with Marino. Okay? Once we didn't have a defense anymore, once we never saw a power running game anymore, but when you had Larry Little and all those dudes running people over and Zonka, Kick, and Morris doing their thing, and you had tough tight ends and all that, and then you had a defense called the no-name defense, nobody ever talked about the cold weather. Nobody ever mentioned it. It only becomes a factor once you become finesse. And since the Marino days till now, they've overall been a finesse team. They've never been a punch you in the mouth team. That's why they lost to John Riggins and Washington. That's why they lost to the San Francisco 49ers, who had all the speed and all the finesse. But then when it came to the line of scrimmages, they won the line of scrimmage every single time because they had a great offensive line and a great defensive line. Something that Miami has never put together. So the narratives are all that they come down to one thing. The Dolphins have never been tough enough. Period. Mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever you want to call it. They falter somewhere or in many places, and that's why they've never been what they were when I was a child. It's pretty simple. As I was a kid into my teens, then everything changed in my late teens, into my 20s, and so on and so forth. The team changed who they are, changed who they were, and then the results are right there for you. You can't stand in the middle of the field and punch the Chiefs in the mouth. You can't stand in the middle of the field and punch the Buffalo Bills in the mouth. What happens to you? You get punched in the mouth. And that's been like that, whether it's the Bills of the 90s or the Bills of the 2020s. No narratives will be killed here tonight. None whatsoever. It's simply about winning one big game. And then proving that that big game wasn't a fluke, that you used all the magic and you used all the force and pixie dust you had left, and you won this game, but then you shit the bed the rest of the way, because that's what the Dolphins have been. They're the team that's 9-2 with Marino and then lose the next 5 games. That's who they've been. And it doesn't matter who the faces are, who the coach is, even Shula. It doesn't matter. I'm the only one that's going to tell you the brutal and honest truth. Why? Because I've done something that all of the media hasn't. I lived it all. I watched it all. I've watched it from its inception pretty much, because it's my inception. So I pretty much lived it all. You know, most of the guys that write and follow this team and all that, outside of Poupart, there ain't a goddamn person there that's got the kind of depth that really understands what's going on here. But they all will manipulate it to write it, to talk about it on radio, on podcasting, and on print, to try to manipulate you, make it big about narratives. There ain't no narrative here, dude. There's no narrative here. The Dolphins are a soft franchise. And they've been a soft franchise for 30 years plus, 35 years plus. No narratives here. It's been a failure of a franchise one way or the other. They have a defense, they don't have an offense. They don't have a quarterback, they got a running game. They have a defense, they don't have a coach. They don't have a front office. They don't, there's always an imbalance. Always an imbalance. And this year, you're sitting there going, there's 6 games, 5 that you gave away, okay? 5 that you gave away. The Bills and those 4. Why? Because of the guy standing on the sidelines, who never has his team prepared for these moments, doesn't know how to call a game. And now we don't even know if these last 3 games or 4 or whatever is real or an aberration, or him just being like a caged animal waiting to go and call his irresponsible offense like he used to call. Don't know. So tonight's a great test for Mike McDaniel. Not just the Miami Dolphins, not just Tua, not just the defense, not just the running game, and Mike McDaniel. And we'll find out. And we'll find out if they can win a big game. And then don't get caught up in the moment. Relax. They still have to win more. They have to follow this big game they have to do what the Houston Oilers did years ago. I believe, if I'm correct, Sean, the Houston Oilers lost the first 5, went 0-11, and then went on a run and won 11 straight and went into the playoffs at 11-5. If I am correct, that's how it went for Warren Moon. I forgot what year it was. I'm going to say, let me take a guess while you're looking it up. I'm going to say 1994. Okay? Something like that. You're going to have to do that. So it's not just about winning this game. It's don't screw it up against San Francisco. Don't get tripped up against the Jets, because then that proves you're not a good team. If you've crossed that threshold, then you can beat the good teams and you go in focused and beat the shitty teams too at the same time. Because what's so Dolphins, you have lived it. I have lived it. We've all experienced it. You know what happens, right? It's so Dolphins that they just screw things up. Even they play a game of their life and then they go and they get walloped by a crappy team. And you're like, what the hell? Like Tennessee last year. Screws your whole season up. That's so Dolphins. That's so Dolphins. A few years back, 15 or something, whatever it was, they were right there. And two of the games that decided their season were against the two teams that went to the Super Bowl, the Colts and the Saints. And they played them right down to the last second and lost it right at the end. That's so Dolphins. I mean, you've lived it. I've lived it, man. You know, it's the Dolphins playing the Patriots, who are half the team you are. You need to beat them so you can go take care of the Bears again. And what's so Dolphins? What is it, 3-4 fumbles in that game? That's so Dolphins. That's so Dolphins. And that's Marino, and that's Shula choking like dogs. Is it Marino's fault? No, but I'm just saying, the Marino era, we were a bunch of softies too, and then at that time, a pure finesse team. So, you know, it's not about narratives. It's just about winning a big game today. And then let's see what you do next week and the week after that. Because what you do tonight, even if it's a win, you can screw it all up in the next couple of weeks. It won't mean shit if you split the next games after that. This win, if you win tonight, by some miracle, if you pull this off, this win will mean absolutely nothing. That you won in the cold, that you won in the road, that you won on a short week. It won't mean anything if you lose to the Jets. It's so Dolphins. So if you're really that team, well, then you gotta let's go, turn it around and play. You're better than your talent is better than everybody that's left on your schedule, pretty much. But your coach has to coach you up to it. He hasn't coached you up in several games. You've lost to 4 lesser teams already this year because of the guy on the sidelines. And you should have won the second Buffalo game, but you got a shitty coach. So let's see if he actually has, graduated and started to become a big boy. Tonight, we'll see if Mike McDaniel can be a big boy in big moments. Sean Stanley, what do you have for us?
Ty from the Bronx got it. 93 Oilers. Warren Moon's last season with Houston. They lost their first game, won their second game, lost their next 3, and then went on a streak to finish 12-4.
Oh, it's 12. Oh, that's what it was. 12-4. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I thought it was 11-5. I thought they lost the first 5, then won. But I was off by one season. I said 94, right? So 93 Oilers. Yeah, me and you seen it all, Big O. That's right. Ty in the Bronx knows what I'm talking about. It's a media creation for them now, because we got all these newbie reporters and writers that they don't really know the whole history. They don't live it. They have to go research it. You understand? They didn't live it. Most of the writers that are on the Dolphins beat, okay, did not live the Dolphins history. It doesn't register in their computers like it does for yours truly. For a guy like Poupart, who's been around a long time covering it, it registers for him because since he got here, obviously he didn't live it as a kid like I did, but working for the Dolphin Digest and all that, it gave him a rich history that he has now. Poupart's probably, and then Joe, because he's obviously the player and came in right at the end. But outside of that, there aren't a lot of people. They can't go back and think about that. They can't relate a moment now to a moment 25, 35, 45 years ago. I can do that. They can't do that. Why? They have to go back and look at it. Hey, did it happen? No, I don't have to go and look in a book if it happened. It's in my book. I saw it. I lived it. I was either a season ticket holder, I was watching it on TV, or whatever it was. So I don't need to invent a narrative. I know what the Dolphins are and what they've been and what they turned into under Shula and how they morphed into different teams and what they've been since. And, you know, this is a moment here that they normally fail. This moment here is the failure moment for them for the last 35 plus years. Big game, big moment on national television against a team that's better than you. And you rarely ever win these moments. Why? Because you're not one of those teams. You haven't been one of those teams in 40 years. 40 years. You know, a lot of people, like some guy said to me yesterday on Twitter, he goes, well, I don't want to live in the past. I go, what do you mean the past, bro? It just happened a couple of weeks ago. We're not talking about, 5 years ago, 10, 15, 25, 35. Yeah, I'm putting it all together. But the things that happened this year, it's so Dolphins. It's what's been going on forever with different coaches, including Shula. We love the old man, but he was hanging on for dear life towards the end. He was getting schooled left and right. The game was passing his ass by. He was still better than most that came after him, but, he didn't have the personnel hook anymore. And then once they threw in the cap, the poor guy was already, forget it. We're toast. So lots of issues, but this whole thing about narratives, this is simply, hey, can you win a big game tonight? And then can you follow it up by not screwing it up the rest of the way? That's the reality we're in. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't get crazy. You win tonight means you're in or not. No, it doesn't mean jack. It means that you did a nice job. You finally accomplished something. Now let's see if it means anything with what you do after. So this is all just one step, part of many, because if you can run the table and get to the playoffs, now you've done something. Now, if you can win a game in the playoffs, holy crap, maybe we've got a glass ceiling moment for you. But then you've got to then follow that up next year and those kind of things. You just can't go back and then the next year you go 7-11 or 7-10. Okay? You can't do that either, So this isn't about a narrative or nothing. It's going to take a while to climb out of the abyss that the Dolphins have been in for decades. And you don't erase what's happened in decades with one game or even a season where you just win a playoff game. Unless you can win the Super Bowl, that's the only way you can erase all the demons of the past and make Dolphin fans feel like you've turned the corner. The way, in other words, the way Panther fans feel. That their team was soft and always got punched in the mouth and sent home. I explained that. I use that as the example to the Dolphins. That's what the Panthers have been forever, dude. Soft. Complete wussies. And then finally, they started to win games against the Tampas and the Bostons of the world. And once they started winning those games consistently, that's when we knew that they were, okay, no longer the meow, 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 which was their theme song for us on the show. Now we know the Panthers will punch you in the mouth and score on you. When have the Dolphins ever been that? Never. 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 That's pretty bad to say. We have to go back to the 70s. So basically, never. The Dolphins have never, ever been an intimidating team. Ever. You have to go back to the 70s. Think about that. Just let that marinate. They've never been a team that puts any fear into anybody. That's why they don't have a nickname, because you're not good enough. Remember, you can make a donation to the show. We love the super chats, but YouTube, those bastards, take away 30%. So we tell you Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And you can also make a PayPal donation, too, on the show for those of you that are out of the country. So there you go. I see Oscar Rojas is in first. Man of 1,005 holds. Matthew Karen, hopefully wind stays below 15 miles per hour. Brother, they all got to play in the same weather. I hope it's the worst weather. I hope it's the toughest situation that there is and that they win it. That's all. There's no excuses, man. Just go out there and get it done. You know? I hope Green Bay is as healthy as possible and that Miami goes in there and gets it done. That's all. Look at Murphy. Please don't play soft as F. That's a Dolphins fan. Tom Olivadotti was a hairy genius. See? Captain Saki. And by the way, Captain Saki, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. I hope you guys have had a great Thanksgiving. Andrew says, your analysis of the Miami Dolphins organization is spot on. They've been unable to smack people in the mouth for many decades now. They've been a soft group. That's what it is. 92 AFC championship game still hurts. Why? Because they were soft. And when we do win one of these big games, we turn around and lose to a shitty team like the Jets. Let's hope something changes. See? The Big Johnson has lived the Dolphin lifestyle. He understands. That's why we bring you to reality on this show. We're not going to feed you bullshit, and we're not going to try to sell you, drama and all that. Oh, it's narratives tonight. There are no narratives tonight, bro. Just try to win a big game. That's all, bro. Just try to win a big game. And if you do, golf clap. You already screwed up so much this season. You got a lot more to do. Lucy, you got a lot of splaining to do. You explain a little bit, but you got to explain a lot more, Lucy. Golf clap. It's not champagne bottles. It's not. No. Golf clap. It's nice. Now win the rest of the games. Impress me, bro. And that's it. If you're going to go lay an egg to San Francisco, then this doesn't do shit for me. You screwed up already for this season, right? If you're this good, you'll win the rest of the games. You already lost your games. You've lost 6 games already. You won 11 last year. Do the math. You're at the threshold of what you won last year. I got no time for explanations, excuses, or nothing like that. Win tonight is just a small piece of it. You still got more games to go. Finish the job. Sorry, that's the position you guys put yourself in. I'm not here to have sympathy. I'm far from that already. I'm done with that. There's no sympathy. You lost the sympathy. You shouldn't have lost to Seattle, and you shouldn't have lost to Indianapolis, and you shouldn't, you keep losing to these shitty teams. You lose. It's like now, what is it? A yearly thing now to go lose to the Titans? Come on, man. That's a bunch of mayonnaise. Miami needs to play aggressive defense, protect our quarterback, and establish the running game. I'm with you, James. I'm with you. Yeah, there's no curse about leaving the Orange Bowl, brother. That's just it's just not running it good. That's all. Shula didn't know what the hell he was doing already at that point, and the rest of the people after that haven't been good enough, and that's all. And this team, the sad part is this roster is actually pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. It's just you don't have the right coach, unfortunately. So That's it. We're almost tough, but then porn stash hung lobster traps from the ceiling. Yeah, but they really never had the quarterback either on top of all of that. They just never really got it done on offense. It's a shame because that defense was good enough to win, but you needed a badass offense to complement it, and it just never got there. Rick Reyes says, I sat in the end zone for the Pats AFC Championship game. I was 18. That tells you all you need to know. I haven't recovered from that Pats game. Let's see. We all know the reality coming tonight. If they don't crap the bed and pull one off, cool. Pat in Nashville. Pat, I hope you're hanging in there, my brother. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. As good as you can have, of course, because folks in North Carolina, it's hard for them to have that kind of the kind of Thanksgiving that they deserve. Let's be honest. Anyway, it's just one of those where, I just kind of laugh at the people that want to create this drama where there isn't really drama, overall. It's kind of a shame. By the way, what's going on with it was a bad game, and then the Bears it became like interesting, and then Eberflus and the quarterback too. The quarterback was just lackadaisical with the coming to the line, and he was like looking around. I think I saw him file his nails for a little bit before he took that last snap. Yeah. I think maybe he also took off his helmet, fixed his hair a little bit, and then put his helmet back on. I don't know. Eberflus. Maybe he wanted to save the timeout for Christmas. I don't know. Maybe it's one of the gifts from Hanukkah. I'm not sure. I don't know. It could be a holiday type gift or something. He wanted to save that timeout, So that was interesting. But the Lions improved to 10-1, even with all the injuries, 23-20. And then we've got the Cowgirls are leading the Giants right now, 13-10. And there is third quarter just started now. Okay. Some doozies of some games, bro. I'm telling you. And that Bears game was like, it wasn't really watchable early on. It kind of was boring me. By the way, why don't we get into our 3A graphics, sports calendar, and the great Alan Blanco. Give him a ring, 786-618-443 for custom printing and embroidery. And again, Lions over the Bears, 23-20. Man, and the Cowboys are leading the Giants 13-10 with 14 minutes left in the third quarter. Tomorrow, 8:00, Raptors and Heat. Butler injured again. Shocker there. Also Friday, 3:00, Panthers at Hurricanes. They bounced back with their 5-1 win over the Leafs. The Heat, by the way, did defeat Charlotte. They hung on to defeat Charlotte, 98-94. And the Canes on Saturday, 3:30 ESPN will take on Syracuse. So let's see if the Canes can win the ACC. They need this one in order to win the ACC. All right. Armstead is active. Do we have the inactives, Sean? Do you have them for us?
We do. Linebacker Anthony Walker, QB Tyler Huntley. Of course, he's the emergency quarterback. Cornerback Ethan Bonner. Cornerback Kendall Fuller. Tight end Jack Stoll. Wide receiver D. Eskridge. Mohamed Kamara is active, or is he injured?
All right. Well, I mean, you lost the other guy too. The other guy was placed on the IR. The other linebacker. Damn it. He was one of the newer linebackers that they added. I'm forgetting his name now. Did I write it down here? No, I did not. But he was just recently injured. So yeah, one of them got injured. So Kamara gets activated. Bowser. Thank you, Eric. Eric, I've got a rash. Nice job by you, sir. Appreciate you helping out there. So who knows? Maybe Kamara gets a little PT in an enormous game. So as expected, Teron Armstead is active, which I don't think anybody is surprised that Teron Armstead is active. They were just resting him. Although for him to be playing on a short week like this, and he even practiced this week also, which was kind of crazy. When I read that he also practiced, I was like, wow. And he probably, and I think Furones also talked about it yesterday on his interview too. And one of the things that I talked about was it's such a short week, you don't get to really practice. The next time you step on the field, you're going to step in a cold place. Maybe he did a little light practice yesterday to kind of, get the muscles going and get that blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? So it made a lot of sense. And the fact that he's played quite a bit this year, it's been a positive. Tonight, yeah, listen, I don't need to tell you guys what they need to do, right? They got to establish the run, as somebody said, keep throwing to the tight ends. We need to start seeing Washington and others involved and less of Odell Beckham. Okay? And can I tell you something? That proves why Mike McDaniel is not a good coach. Okay? Odell Beckham should be playing on the outside. He's not a physical receiver. He's a finesse guy. Put him out in space. Put what's it called? Waddle inside in the slot, or bring Tyreek in motion into the slot, and that way you can't get your hands on him that easy. And use Odell, if you're going to use him as an outside receiver. I think that would help him out a little bit more. But what I really would like at this point, I'm a big Washington fan. And I think that young man should be playing more. Obviously, Craycraft has always been a really good football player. Tonight is a night where you need reliability. And you need some people that you can count on. Unfortunately, for the Dolphins, Odell Beckham has proven that he is not reliable. He has clearly proven that he is not reliable. So, again, a bad coach continues to put Julian Hill out on the field. One day Julian Hill is going to have a good game, but how many times has he cost you in other games? Eventually the sun shines on every dog's ass, but it's kind of stupid to keep playing Julian Hill, just like it'll be stupid to continue to play Odell Beckham if he's not making any improvement and not helping you. Meanwhile, the Washington kid, all I ever see from that kid is effort that is second to none, even in mistakes, and he's gotten better as the year went on. Remember, he even started with mistakes back into training camp. That he was dropping too many passes in training camp, as I told you. And then all of a sudden, look at him now. He's playing a lot better. He's all over the place. Please use Washington. Please. I mean, come on. I just don't get that, man. I really don't understand it. It's actually baffling to me, to be quite honest. By the way, Ray Martinez, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. He says, happy Thanksgiving to all. He made a Venmo donation, a little Bitcoin. He says, nice dip. Please keep investing. He says, we need a clean and smart game tonight. He's a season ticket holder. He should know. I was there for the championship game in 84 and 92. I know the feeling, and I hate it. And by the way, please call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Ray and Mike are there. They can help you out. 305-345-3649. That's the owner's cell number, so you can get in contact with them. If you're looking here in South Florida for a complete remodel, bathroom upgrades, floor restoration, drywall level 5 finish, and something very important for you condo owners out there, waterproofing your terrace and balcony with a flood test report, and to make sure it drains properly, which is very important nowadays, because you don't want that to become a bigger problem for your neighbors and all that. Then you'll get those looks. You don't want that. So call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. They can get it done for you. And check out their Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island. You can see a lot of the work that they've done. Second to none, dude. 305-345-3649. Great people. R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. And thank you, Ray. Appreciate you. All right. What else do we have here? What was I going to tell you guys? Let me see. Thank you for all the Bowsers. Damn, I'm looking at it here. Amazing. Big O, I want you to admit you were wrong about Dan Campbell. I already did that. You're a little late. About Dan Campbell being a raw
For those
guy.
of you that think that Dan Campbell could have been something here in Miami, he wasn't ready to coach at that time.
No. I don't think he's talking about that. That one, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. If you would have kept Dan Campbell when he was an interim coach, that was good by you, Sean. You already had it locked and loaded. I love that. You're the best. I fucking love you, bro. Anyway, no, I think he's talking about let's give people credit when they're right, and I'm wrong. He's talking about that I said that Dan Campbell was a raw guy, that I compared him to Mike Tice and to Ray Sherman and to guys like that. I know what I said. And I didn't think that he would be a good X's and O's guy when it was all said and done. And I am wrong. He can build a staff. He has done a marvelous job, but you probably didn't hear me admit that 2 years ago. So it's all right. It's all good. You probably don't watch the regular show and all that. I've learned this over the years. There are people that tell me they listen when I really know they don't listen, because then they tell me something or whatever, and then I know, yeah, you don't really listen much. So it's all good. And hey, man, you got a life. You know what I mean? And I'm not important in your life, Henrik. So this is important for you. And you, sir, are correct. You should hold my feet to the fire. I said I didn't believe in Dan Campbell. I thought he was kind of a raw guy, cheerleader type. And that shit wears out quickly like Mike Tice does. I've seen those kind of guys. There's not a lot of substance there. Ton of substance there. And he can build a staff, which is very important. Okay? That's the other thing that I've been very impressed with Dan Campbell. He has built a hell of a staff. And now people are going to start poaching his staff again. And that's, going to obviously, test him. But that's what Henrik is talking about. He's not one of those guys saying, oh, we should have kept Dan Campbell when he was with the Dolphins. No, that's the short-sighted ones. At that point, he would have failed. When he went to learn with Sean Payton for 4 or 5 years, 6 years, whatever the hell it was, that really helped him. And then he was ready for it. And I was wrong saying that he wasn't ready for it. Big O, how about a victory cigar for the Heat? I mean, this is a pregame show, bro. It's not a regular show. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that tomorrow on the show on Friday. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we'll be at Acura of Pembroke Pines. What else do we have? Were you going to say something? Did I see the screen split there? I didn't notice it. Oh, okay. Love the happy Thanksgiving board. Let's see. I hope we get a victory fart from True Fin Fan. Well, I mean, it is Thanksgiving, so it's probably loading up. Feel really bad for his family. Does his family go to like another state or something during Thanksgiving? Anyway, watching Poyer get flattened down is priceless. Yeah, he definitely got run over last week. That was ugly. Willie in Colombia. Think Blue Dodgers out in L.A. watching. Rosendo, good evening to you, sir. Frankie says, I believe Julian Hill gets the nod over Smythe and Connor because those two guys are not great in receiving. And even though Hill sucks, I believe Smythe and Connor are worse. It's just, I don't know. It's just none of them are good enough. That's the real problem. I wouldn't play any of those guys at this point. Smythe maybe as an extra blocker, and he's average at best at blocking. Sometimes it's below average, which I thought he was a decent blocker early on. Lately, I just have not been impressed. There have been times where he's gotten beat badly, dude. I just would rather not play anybody, Frankie. I don't trust any of those guys. I don't want
to see those guys at all. I'm playing Jonnu and my receivers and my running backs, and I'm using my running backs as receivers. I don't want anything to do. I don't want Julian Hill on the field or Tanner Connor on the field at all. Smythe, if I want to keep him to be a, backup tight end to catch a, but not a. See, again, this is where if I'm going to get Smythe, okay, again, here's where bad coaching takes place. If I'm going to get Smythe, I'm going to use him short yardage, right around the box, right, where he can turn around and give me a square body and catch it and possess a 5, a 7, an 8-yarder. I'm not using him for an 18, 20-yard out in the back corner of the end zone that requires athleticism, something he doesn't possess. And that's the problem, Frankie. When a coach who's not a very good coach, game day, he puts players in positions to fail. That's why you have a fullback dive on first down a month ago or whatever. I lost my mind. Like, what? Who does that, dude? Who's doing fades with midgets? Who's doing a fade in the corner with an unathletic tight end? Mike McDaniel. So part of it is putting a player where they put them in the position that they can handle. So Smythe is going to be able to handle short passes right around the box in front of the so he can catch it, fall down, fall forward. Bruce Johnson, Bruce Hardy, Joe Rose style. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I know I lost a whole bunch of you, including you, Frankie, because you never watched any of those guys. But that's all I'm asking. Bruce Hardy was sliding on the floor 7, 10, 12 yards away, and there was Marino throwing it to him. Dan Johnson was just there. These guys weren't explosive. Jim Jensen had no explosivity whatsoever. He was just a clutch, tough son of a bitch. And he got squared up and made a nice, big target for Marino. Boom, catch. That's it. That's what Dan Johnson did. That's what Bruce Hardy did. Dude, come on, man. I've been at this for a long time. I know what Durham Smythe is. And he's not Keith Jackson. And he's not Jonnu Smith. And I'm not going to do shit with him that I would do with Randy McMichael. The shit throwing in the back of the corner of the end zone, that's Randy McMichael shit that you do. That's bad coaching. The average fan doesn't look at it that way because they don't look at it at football the way they were supposed to look at it. That's horrible coaching. Everybody's killing Smythe. I'm killing Mike McDaniel. That's a bad coach putting a player in a position where he's going to fail 99% of the time because Durham Smythe can't make that catch in his dreams. But a 5-yard turnaround right in front of this line of scrimmage, he'll make that catch 98% of the time. Simple. Boom, turns around, the big galoot falls 3 more yards forward. Super productive. That's all. If Marino didn't have Clayton and Duper, the deep stuff open, there it was. Bruce Hardy, Dan Johnson, Joe Rose, Jimmy Cephalo, Tony Nathan, whatever it was. Outlets. But they were Jim Jensen, all kinds of different outlets. You're supposed to use people where they belong. Okay? You weren't sending Bruce Hardy downfield 40 yards. Sorry, that's just not the way it was going to play out. So it's up to your coach to actually know what he's doing. And that's where, we have our issues with certain people. Christian DiMartino on Venmo. Thank you, sir, as always. Happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Oh, too much chaos going on in the house, but wanted to show my support and say, let's go Fins, baby. Tonight we rewrite the script. Let's hope so. Let's hope they can win a big game for once. Steve M. Thanks for doing 2 shows on Thanksgiving. You think our run game gets back on track tonight? Steve, no run game tonight? There's no win. You're not going in there and going to just pass and become one-dimensional. I mean, we've been learning that lesson since we were with Marino. That ends badly every time. So today, Steve, the running game better wake up. It better wake up because their running game is going to wake up. I don't know about the Dolphins stopping their running game tonight. I am really fearful of that. Okay? That's what I'm fearing the most because that sets up play action and everything for Love. That's Steve, if Miami doesn't match Green Bay with the run or Miami shuts down their run, okay, because they're going to have to shut down their run. If there is no running game tonight by the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure they lose. I'm 100% sure they lose. I've been wrong 1,000 times in the past, and we just talked about one recently. But I don't see the Dolphins winning if they don't run. So the running game better wake up, Steve. Better wake up. This isn't about this fantasy. Oh, here's Tua going to carry us all. No, dude, that's not who he is. That's not who he is. So got to play the game the right way. They need the running game tonight. If they don't have the running game tonight, they're royally screwed. Put it that way. That's the way I look at it. They are royally screwed. Okay. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate that. And you can also make a PayPal donation too, anywhere in the world. Also, use the QR codes there on PayPal. Do want to remind you about Sloman's Home Shield. We are in 14 different states. You can check it out at 1-800-ALARM-ME. And right now, you know the importance of safety. This is why they're offering a free home security system, free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, the free system includes the panel, the keyboard, up to 10 door contacts, window decals, lawn sign, professional installation, lifetime service, communication device, and backup battery. That's a whole lot. You want Alarmo? You can get them. That's right. And look, Sean uses it at home. We use it at our home. You're going to love it. And I've got cameras. Sean doesn't, but I do. He's got cameras outside like I do and on the doorbell and all that. But I got cameras inside because I have 4 dogs patrolling the house, So I got to know what's going on. And I love the cameras inside because then I get to see what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. But really, Sloman's Home Shield is a beautiful thing. The fire alarms also are very important. My daughter does a lot of cooking. Every once in a while, it might get a little smoky, and the alarm might go off, and within a second, Sloman's is going, hey, what's going on? All right, what's the password? Because you got to have a secret password, and then you give them the password, and all right, no problem. And they're on top of it, man. It's really, really good. So it's really important to have that protection. They've been protecting Americans for 100 years. They support our show, our platform. Please support the great sponsors that support our platform. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Frankie, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, they have thrown those 8-yard passes, especially at the beginning of the season. He has dropped them. Smythe, confidence is shot. It could be, but why does it get shot? Because you put him in positions that he's not supposed to be in. And then when you put him back where he's supposed to be, he's out of whack a little bit. And he has. I'm not going to argue that, Frankie. He has dropped some easy ones. But I would build his confidence back up to being what he was. They're trying to make him some pass catcher, which, look at him, dude. He's a blocker. And he is a part-time backup emergency hands type guy. That's it. That was his role. The second you started trying to feature him, you top. And that's where you lost him. You're asking him to do too much, and that's not his game. And there's an overload. It reminds me of the Ryan Tannehill overload, When you ask Tannehill to do too much, forget about it, bro. Mistakes. You see how Tua does all kinds of fakes and ball handling, and then makes the quick, precise. Those are things that like 95% of the quarterbacks, 93% of the quarterbacks in the NFL can't do that, because that's an overload for them. Forget it. That's too much for them to do. I don't think people even give Tua the kind of credit he deserves for what he does back there, man. Anyway. Ocala Joe says, let's not forget he couldn't come up with a role for Gesicki, a 6'6". I know. Yeah. Bad coach, bro. Bad coach. That's all. Jonnu Smith was killing it, and then he doesn't use him to start the season. We're watching in training camp in the preseason. They're using him all over the place. We're like, holy shit, this is good. All right, they're going to add this element. Season starts. There's no Jonnu Smith. Bad coach, bro. Bad coach. That's all. And for Mike McDaniel, today is about starting to prove to people that the last couple of weeks isn't an aberration, that maybe you have become a better coach. Because some of you out there are, falling for it hook, line, and sinker already. Oh, no, man. You see how McDaniel's changed? Oh, no, he learned his lesson. Oh. No, he hasn't. He hasn't learned shit yet. He still does stupid things out there. So let's see him go through the rest of the season, and let's see if he can actually dig himself out of this hole. We ask quarterbacks all the time, right? The good ones. They threw an interception. Okay. Wham! Bam! Here comes the touchdown. You know who that was, right? Just in case, if you didn't know if you had no idea what was that impression, okay? It's me lifting my pants up, and then, he had to lick the fingers. There was some finger licking before he was going to kick your ass. So you do that, right? And you've seen Tua sometimes screw up and then come back and make up for it, right? Got to do it. Tennis, you screw up a point, you got to come back and make up for it. Whatever, in any sport. You strike out a couple of times. Here comes the ninth inning. There's a guy in a scoring position. You need to drive him in at that moment. You need to make up for your screw-ups, right? We do that to players all the time. Mike McDaniel, bro, you're a major screw-up, dude. Since year one, you didn't even know the goddamn down in a playoff game. Okay? It's year 3. You still didn't know how to use the tight end up until a couple of weeks ago. You were about to screw up a second tight end that they signed. Your players commit all kinds of penalties. Lately, they're not committing nearly as many penalties. All those kind of things. Well, here's the big game. Here's the big moment. Your team can't go back to its habitual ways of committing stupid mistakes. You can't do stupid things out there and call a clean game. You need to start winning these kind of games often, not just tonight, often. You dug your team in a hole because you thought Skylar Thompson could play. That was stupid. That was bad. So Mike McDaniel has dug you, Dolphin fan, in that hole right now. He dug his players in that hole. He dug his front office in that hole, because I'm sure the front office was trying to get a quarterback or two. But I'm also sure he said, no, we're fine with Skylar, because a real coach that really would understand the position would say, no, we need somebody. Skylar sucks. Because Skylar does suck, by the way. Those are the facts. Skylar sucks. So the fact that you didn't know Skylar sucks, you put the Dolphins in this hole. You need to get the Dolphins out of this hole. And the players can do the job, but you've got to put them in positions to actually get it done. If you don't, well, then it's your fault. So you want to keep playing Odell Beckham? That's not productive. You go ahead. You want to keep playing Julian Hill? That's not productive. you go ahead. The aforementioned Durham Smythe, don't put him in positions to fail. Keep doing it. Tyreek Hill, well, he's got a bad wrist, and you're going to use him in a fade? Are we smart or are we stupid? Which one is it? You're going to win challenges tonight? Because you can't lose them. So it's really about Mike McDaniel proving that he's the coach that can get you out of this kind of situation. He's the guy that can't even counter other teams in that moment. He has to wait a month later, a year later to kind of figure out what they're doing to him. They've been doing this whole thing to him since last year. It took him up until a few weeks back to start playing the game the way it's supposed to. It took him forever to figure it out. Will he stick to the run if it's working tonight? I don't know. Not one of us can trust that man. I mean, you can lie to yourself if you want to lie to yourself. You go ahead. That's fantastic. That'll work wonders. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. That's on Venmo, of course, because they do the Ethereum. But you can do Bitcoin on both. Ocala Joe, thank you for the Cash App, sir, for a little overtime for the hardest workers. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Thank you, sir. What else do we have? Big O, esta noche, it's time for the Dolphins to shut up those who don't believe in them. Shut me up then, because I don't believe in them. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys, bro. Just Bosom jeans. Just want you to know, my brother, I'm one of those. I don't believe in them at all. I don't believe in Mike McDaniel at all. At all. I think I said the season was over a few weeks back. So we'll see if, a month and a half from now I was wrong. Okay? But I'm one of those guys, my brother. Okay? I don't think they win tonight. Sorry. There's no proof. I'm tired of it. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt anymore. I'm done with that. The Dolphins don't deserve the benefit of the doubt anymore. Mike McDaniel doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt anymore. I don't believe him in these kind of situations. So just so you know, Bosom, let's be clear, because I'm brutally honest about everything. I'm one of those people. I'm not picking the Dolphins to win tonight. Okay? I don't think the Dolphins win tonight at all. So you could come back and join us on the postgame show and tell me how wrong I am, and I'll be glad to be wrong. I'll be rooting for them, but I have zero confidence that they're winning tonight. Zero. Okay? Just so you'll know, zero confidence that they're winning tonight. I hate it, but that's how I'm going into this game. I just don't trust that guy. And I just feel like he's going to screw it up at one point. I feel like I'm going to feel like a Bears fan later on. Looking at Eberflus, I'm going to be looking at that guy on the sidelines because I always seem to be looking at that guy on the sidelines. So I am that guy you're talking about. Okay? Love my Dolphins, but I'm done with Mike McDaniel. Completely done. He needs to look, really, like, do a miracle. Run the table and win a playoff game for me to change my mind about him. If he can't win a playoff game, I don't, I know he's coming back next year, but again, I have no hope for that guy. So I'm that guy he needs to shut up. Just want you to know that. Let's see, what else? Do you think, Big O, the team design is for a left-handed QB? Maybe a left-handed QB is what we need. No excuses tonight. We have to perform. What do we do when Tua runs with the ball and we pray that he doesn't go ahead? Well, we've learned already. That's why you got to get a quarterback, unfortunately. Tua can't be trusted. He refuses to take care of himself. Score prediction tonight. I'm going to go Packers 24, Dolphins 16. Okay. 24-16 Packers. Yeah. I'm not I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope I'm wrong. Dougie Fresh says, music reference for what our Dolphins are today. 1, Plastic Ono Band, just shit. 2, Milli Vanilli frauds. 3, Van Halen when they started doubting David Lee Roth. 4, Primus, just need a drummer. Right now, we're definitely Milli Vanilli. Okay? Because, see, to Yoko Ono's credit, okay, not that she deserves any, she's literally singing. Now, it's terrible, but it's at least she's real. It's her. It's like Tiny Tim, tiptoe through the tulips. It was him, at least, singing. It was terrible, but it was him. Milli Vanilli. It's frauds. And what do we do with our Dolphins? We are frauds. We are the biggest frauds next to the Cowboys. There are no bigger frauds in NFL than the Cowboys. Nobody gets talked up like the Cowboys nationally and fails more than the Cowboys. By the way, did they fail again tonight? Where are they at? Just to kind of keep they're winning 27-10, unfortunately. But anyway, so the Cowboys are the top frauds, but we're the next level. We're right there. So we're really Milli Vanilli. Yoko is above us. She's real. She's herself. Shitty, but she's herself. Millie, they never were really singing. And the Dolphins never really are a good team or a great team or a clutch team or a tough team. We're frauds. They talk us up and we fail every single time. It's what we've been, unfortunately. So I'm going to go there. We're Milli Vanilli there, Doug. We're not even good enough to be Yoko Ono. We can't even be a Plastic Ono band. How sad is that? So anyway, is Daniel Jones poachable? No, he's not. He's on the practice squad. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay there. He'll be their starter next year. You can listen to the show yesterday. I explained it. He'll be the starter next year. Okay. Tiny Tim, a legend. Silver Dome knows what legend is. He's right. King Chile. Big O, very nervous tonight. Well, I told you the prediction. I'm super nervous. I'm shitting bricks, put it that way. I can make chimneys for you guys if you want. So I'm shitting bricks. I fear the hell out of this game. I'm not looking forward to this post-game show. I'm serious. I am 100% serious. I am not looking forward to the pain. And that's kind of what I'm expecting. I can't I wish I can talk myself into being more pumped up about it like I have been in the recent past with McDaniel and the team and give him a chance, but he lost me. So, he's going to have to do some winning to get me back on board there to believe in him. So I'll root, but I can't tell you I have any confidence. I'd be lying to you if I told you, I feel confident they're going to win. I'd be filling you up with a lot of lies. I am very fearful of tonight. At least Tiny got married on the Johnny Carson show. Did he get married on the Johnny Carson show? Really? I don't remember that, but that's a great nugget to know. We're Milli Vanilli. Blame it on the rain. That's right. Honestly, being this negative is whack. Well, Matthew, I can't do anything about it, my brother. I mean, listen, dude, if you want 940 wins is the flagship station, they have a paycheck to their heads. So, that's the gun to the head. They're on with pom-poms the entire time. Doesn't matter. If you want pom-poms, bro, you're not going to get that here. Sorry, dude. I'm the guy that's going to call it like I see it. Sorry, dude. I get it. I'm the dick. But that's why I didn't want to guarantee Tyreek the money. How's it looking now? because I'm the jerk, right? And then when X gets the 10 interceptions, I say trade him right there in that offseason. I'm the jerk, right? Right? So today I have no confidence in the Dolphins in a big game because of Mike McDaniel. I'm the jerk. I'm just being honest. And if you look at the track record, it's usually brutal honesty. But if you want to be lied to, I totally get it, bro. I totally get it. There's a lot of you that want to be lied to. That's how it is in this world. You need to be in that echo chamber. If you don't hear what you want to hear, you're not happy. You're not satisfied. You have to hear what you want to hear in order for you to be comfortable. If I'm not in my echo chamber, I'm uncomfortable. I'm getting another opinion. It's the same thing. Hey, Heat fans, I wanted to trade Butler 2 years ago. They were all killing me, roasting me, just like they did for X. Where are they out now? Disappear. So if they lose tonight, don't blame me. I'm just telling you what I think it is. And if they win, come on over and slam me. It's all good. I'm used to it. I get slammed either way. It doesn't matter. Okay? I always lose. It won't matter how it comes out. I always lose. Okay? That's just kind of my life. That's just the way it is. That's who I've been. Anyway, if the Packers were playing in Miami, we definitely win. I'm not sure about that either, but I would feel a little better. What do the players do on Thanksgiving Day games? Obviously, they're not clowning down before the game, and most do probably their Thanksgiving tomorrow, but do they eat like a Thanksgiving light version? I think they do, Diggum Smacks. I think they have kind of like their own Thanksgiving meal, team meal, that it's Thanksgiving style. And yeah, obviously within restraints. Yes, of course. And then you have like a mini bye week now when you're off after tonight. And then you can have a big ass meal on Friday with your family if that's what you want. So yeah, that's usually what they do, my brother. Okay. Yeah, and Stephen Harris goes to Matthew. Speaking the truth isn't being negative. Problem is, Matthew is one of those echo chamber guys. He's one of those fanatics that just wants to reprogram himself every week to talk himself into everything, that's not really reality. And so, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it goes. He's the norm in this society. It's not just for sports. It's life and everything. It's something that I've noticed doing this business. There are a lot of you just need to be in an echo chamber. You have to be. Would you like to see a Mostert a little more? No, I'd like to see Jalen Wright a little bit more, my brother. On a night like tonight, bring some hammer. I'd like to see more Achane, and I'd like to see Wright tonight a lot more. I don't want to see Mostert right now. He's had a fumbling issue, and now we're in cold weather. Not a good combination. So I'd rather see less of Mostert, keep him as a third down back. Jalen Wright is the guy that I want to see, my man. I want to see you establish the run, and I want to see you punish them as much as you can with Jalen Wright. That's what I want to see. I want to see more Washington, less Odell. I want to see all Jonnu, no one else. I want to see more Jalen Wright, very little Mostert. I want to see Achane and Wright. Okay? That's what I want to see. Packers beat Miami in 22. Wow, damn. I think it's a close loss, but not that. Damn, not 22 points. Damn. Pessimistic, Big O. When you think like that, the results are Well, I listen. If they win, then I'm going to pick them to lose every week. I've picked them to win most of the time, and they've lost. I picked them to win against the Colts. They lost. I picked them to win against the Seahawks. They lost. I picked them to beat the Titans. They lost. That's the problem with Matthew Graham. That's how soft Matthew Graham is. He doesn't say anything when I pick them to beat the Colts and they lose. Dude, you should have beat the Colts. You should have beat the Titans. I picked them to win. I picked them to beat Buffalo. What do you want me to do? I'm not picking them to win anymore. Not these kind of games. I picked them to win the last couple of weeks because they were playing shitty teams. This team here, no, not picking them. No, you gotta earn it, bro. That's the difference. Matthew Graham is a fan. That's why he can't do this show. Because he can't be objective. You know, he can't admit what we see, unfortunately. So until they do something different, then we can go in another direction and we can think about it. But for now, there's no part of me that thinks they're going to win this game, unfortunately. I just don't have any confidence in them. I wish I did. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, who would Bill be rooting for today? No, always the Bears. Always the Bears. The Bears were his team. He would have been heartbroken today. It would have been a Bears-Dolphins day for him because those were his two teams. My dad worked for the Finns from 82 to 99. I know the pain. I grew up through it. Yep. This is going to be a running back and tight end game for both offenses. Whoever has the best linebackers play wins. Yeah. Maybe whoever has the best running game wins. They have a really good running game. And Miami is going to need to be their best tonight to stop that running game. When we win tonight, Big O, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel with the final schedule. I will see the light at the end of the tunnel when they run the table, my brother. Okay? It's not just about this game. It's about running the table. You lost already all the games you're supposed to lose. Too bad, so sad. So, again, it's not about winning just this game. It's about running the table. Running the table and win a playoff game. Then you got me. You run the table and lose in the playoffs, doesn't mean shit to me. That's what they've been forever. That's so Dolphins. So Dolphins is to run the table and lose in the playoffs. That's so Dolphins. And you know what's so Dolphins? Is that we say to ourselves, oh, we'll be back again next year. That's so Dolphins. So you got to run the table and win a game in the playoffs. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Let's say it's your third season, dude. You got to start winning playoff games. You're not, if this is your third season, you're not going to make the playoffs. That's unacceptable. And he's going to come back next year. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Apollo says it's possible. Oh, sure, it's possible, bro. Of course, it's possible for a good franchise. I'm not sure the Dolphins have a coach that can make them a good franchise. They got the talent. They definitely have enough talent to run the table. I don't know if they have the coach to run the table. They had talent to win 5 more games on the schedule, and the coach failed. So I can't do anything about that, man. That's the part that kind of sucks, unfortunately. You know, I would love to be more positive about it and say, okay, yeah, they're going to get it done, but it's just not something that's been the norm for them. The norm is that Welton Rayom, they're the best in the business. I've known Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom for a long time, and they've been a proud sponsor of our program for a long time. I think pretty much from day one of our show, or pretty close to it. And they have helped so many of our listeners now. It's like a large family of us, by the way, that have seen Welton Rayom for all kinds of issues: homeowner property damage, condo damage, business owner claims, personal injury, bankruptcy is also sadly an issue right now. A lot of people are going into their savings. They've annihilated their savings. They're going into their 401ks. They're going deep into debt and credit cards. This could happen to me. This could happen to you. It could happen to anybody. And if you're in that tough situation, please call Welton Rayom, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. They know what they're doing. 954-966-4646. The consultation's completely free. And tell them that Big O sent you. And I promise you they'll take care of you at Welt and Rayom. Context says, believing in the Dolphins is like trusting your wife after she's cheated on you for 30 years. Basically. Yeah. So it's not the cold weather that beats them, Dizzy. It's that they're soft. They've been a soft team since the Marino era. Okay? Let's just be honest with ourselves, man. They've always been the team that you punch in the mouth and they fold like a cheap tent. So it's not about cold. I've seen them lose badly in the rain. I've seen them lose late in the season when it's not in the cold. It's just somewhere else. I see them lose almost every playoff game they've been in the last 30 years, pretty much. And they barely ever even go to the playoffs. I know they've gone the last 2 years, and that's been fantastic, but they don't build anything on it. It doesn't mean anything if you don't start winning. You know, you got to start winning playoff games. That's when you know you're making some progress. That's it. It's a soft franchise. It's been a soft franchise. You know, this is the one saving grace that I'm going to have for tonight. This is what I'm going to hang my hat on. Okay? One, the Dolphins aren't the better franchise. That's not even close. They've gone through Favre and then they went through Rodgers, and now they're going through the third guy. Like, nobody does that kind of shit. They're not a better team. They don't have a better coaching staff. Okay? But there's one thing that could carry the Dolphins today. There's just one thing. It's kind of screwed up. All this hate. All this doubt. I got plenty of doubt. They're soft. They never win these games. I don't trust Mike McDaniel at all. I think he's a bad game day coach. He proves it all the time. They hear it all the time. You don't win in the cold. You don't win under 30 degrees. You don't win big games. You don't win on primetime television. They're getting bombarded with it. Narratives, all that shit. It would be nice if they got pissed off about it. That's the one thing that we could, as Dolphin fans, we could kind of maybe hang our hat on and say, you know what, maybe these guys will get pissed off and say, F this already, dude. I'm tired of this label. I haven't even been here that long, but damn, I've got that label on me now. And to a man, they say enough is enough. And tonight they put together a hell of a performance. That anger, that frustration, that finger pointing, that doubt. Maybe that fuels them tonight. I don't know. It's not like the Packers are way better of a franchise than the Dolphins. They're just better right now because they're playing better. They're home. They're in a better groove, all of that kind of stuff. They're just better right now. But talent-wise, it's not like night and day or anything. So what do you got, Miami? You know, most outside of the fanatics, most people don't think you can win this anyways. I'm being honest. I don't think you're going to win at all today. Lots of people don't think you can win. Lots of people think you're soft. Lots of people think you're chokers. Lots of people think you're constantly overrated. And guess what? They're all right. They're all true. Those are your labels. That's what you've earned for nearly 40 years of these moments. We didn't do it. You did it. So, maybe, just maybe, they're pissed off enough about this. I don't know. Sean, put a poll question right now up. Do the Dolphins win tonight? Yes or no? That's it. I want to see what we got on the poll question right now. I want to see what the votes happen right now and come in. We'll put that poll question. We got over 240 people right now. Please hit the like button, folks. Come on, you guys can get us well over 200, man. Come on. Let's go. Smash the hell out of that like button. And come back to the post-game show, especially if the Dolphins win. So, you can laugh at me and make fun of me and all that good stuff. So, Z Harkness says bad mojo in the chat. Okay, but bro, we've had bad mojo for 35 plus years. Okay. So let's go. He's going to put there it is. Will the Dolphins win tonight? It is up. Let's go. All right. Vote. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Vote right now. Will the Dolphins win tonight? We're at 50-50 right now. 51-50. 50-50 again. Folks are voting. What do we got? And smash the hell out of it, please. Rosendo, we only talk as realists. We're fans, but we have to be real about it. We love the hell out of our Dolphins. That has nothing to do with it. I love the Marlins, and they're terrible. What am I supposed to do? I loved Inter Miami, and brother, they pulled the biggest choke job, one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of South Florida sports. Right up there with the 86 Canes, right up there with the Dolphins against the Patriots in 84. Okay? I mean, this was a major choke job. We got to be realists. I'm sorry. Just the way it is. Right now, 58% have the Dolphins winning. So even that, you can tell, it's not like big confidence. It's not like, oh my God, it's overwhelming that people think the Dolphins are going to win. There's a lot of you that feel like me, and there's a lot of you there that will never vote that they'll lose because you're a fanatic. You know what I mean? And fanatics, there's no reasoning with fanatics. Anyway, even former players are calling us soft. Yeah. Well, some of those former players were probably part of soft teams themselves, by the way. Okay. Because if you're a part of a Dolphins team the last 35, 40 years, you're a part of softness. So, it's not like anybody else can say, unless you're from the 70s, you're not going to be able to call anybody out about toughness. The only difference between the Dolphins and a cheating wife of 30 years is that one has gotten hotter recently. That is too much. Those are Bills fans voting no. I think Bills fans have better things to do than watch our pregame show. That's for sure. By the way, post-game show, David Furonis and Chris Perkins, that is, on Twitter. It's at Chris Perk. You can catch those gentlemen fresh from the locker room after the game. Let's hope that it's a happy locker room. We definitely need it. The Dolphins, by the way, they are the dogs. Green Bay is favored by 3.5. The over and under is 47. Dolphins plus 142. Green Bay minus 170. All right. And the poll question there, will the Dolphins win tonight? 61% say yes. 39% say no. So basically an 11-point swing. Just goes one way and it gives you that 22-point lead right there. So you got it. Big O, I hope they kick the crap out of the Packers. I will be back on the post game to dish it or take it. Well, you're always here, David. So you're a regular. I've seen that name here many, 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 many times. All right, folks. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We're going to rest a voice and get ready for the game. Appreciate all of you out there. Remember, you can always make a donation to the show. Visit our amazing sponsors, por favor, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And you can also make a PayPal donation, which we always appreciate that. We will see you for, hopefully, I fear an ugly one, but I pray for a happy post-game show. We'll see you all later, and good luck.
You've been listening to our Dolphins pregame show with Big O. The broadcast is brought to you by Welton Rayome, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors, Toyota of Hollywood, Caneswear, Sloman's Home Security, BigCheeseMiami.com, EJD Construction. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Thank you for supporting the platform and our fantastic sponsors. Go Fins!